Friday night out on the farm. The pasture party was going on, and I was gonna be the star of the show. Yeah, old Luke Duke ain't got nothing on me. I like my blue truck better than the General Lee. Revving the motor till I heard someone say, whoa. As the cat backs cackled to a curb, I dropped a cherry bomb when I saw it was her, walking with a purpose and headed straight for me.
Hi, I'm Blake Wolf, Ringneck Kennels. This here is Darcy. Today we're going to talk about the first initial steps of the force fetch. Immediately when we start, we get the dog up here on a table, we get them comfortable. We secure them so they can't be moving around. We want this first part to be very stationary so we can control all aspects of it. The very first part of this is going to be a hold. And during the hold, we're going to take a dowel. You can use a piece of PVC pipe. We have a piece of PEX pipe here. You can use a force fetch bumper. Pretty much anything that you're not going to use later on in training. You don't want to use a bumper. You don't want to use a bird. The reason for that is there's going to be pressure early on, and you don't want the dog to become bumper shy or bird shy because of the pressure that was applied early on in the training. So when we start our first process here, the first one is going to be hold. And when we ask a dog to hold, we're going to help them along here. We're going to go ahead, we're going to open their mouth for them, and we're going to say hold, and we're going to insert the dowel. As soon as that's inserted, you're going to kind of lift your lips back and make sure they're not biting down their lips. That's going to be uncomfortable for them. So they're going to be holding that. To start, the dog's not going to want to hold it very long. You just force them to hold that dowel. So you're going to want to keep their head steady. You're going to want to make sure that they're not rolling that dowel in their mouth. They're not biting down. They're not clamping down on it. But at the same time, they have a nice firm hold. In order to do that, if you have to pick up on the mandible, that's perfectly fine. As soon as you have that dowel in there, you want to get nice and calm. Keep your talking to a minimum. Give them nice, long, easy strokes. Keep their demeanor very calm. We want them to be excited, but at the same time, we want them to be calm and not moving around, not getting too riled up, too amped up. Okay, so we're going to pull that out and give them a release command. You're going to go ahead and you're going to do it again. You're going to help them open their mouth, hold, insert it, pull their gums out of the way, and then get back into the nice, easy strokes. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but Darcy's tail over here is going pretty crazy. She's pretty excited. There's very minimal stress right now, and a lot of that comes back to the stress that you're making sure is not there. You know, we're staying very easy with her, so that's extremely, extremely important. So Darcy was very easy to get started here. So you're just going to keep going here. You're just going to keep having her open up, hold, move those lips out of the way again, and then get back into the nice, calm, easy strokes. So that's going to be the first part. You're going to do that until that dog is comfortable holding that. You see she's moving her head around, she's doing all sorts of stuff, yet she still has a nice firm hold on that. She's not trying to drop it. That's the first progressive step that you're looking for. So keep her calm, keep her doing that stuff. Hi, yes. And as long as she's not dropping it, then you're okay. Eventually you want to get into the point where you can start tapping around on that. You see she dropped it there, so we're going to lift her mandible up, we're going to pull the scruff of her neck up, and we're going to get her to clamp down on that a little bit tighter, and she's going to think she did it on her own because we didn't force her, we just kind of helped her there. So we're going to keep her going like this. So that's the first step. Okay. The next step that we're going to get into is we're going to use the toe pinch. There are other guys that like to use the ear pinch. I'm not a big fan of that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not the way I learned. So we use the toe pinch. So we use, this is just a piece of paracord. It's got a slip knot in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip this around the paw. We're going to go up above the first joint there, and we're going to tighten that down. We're then going to go between the outside toe, cross the middle two toes, then we're going to go back underneath. So when we apply that pressure, what we're doing is we're squeezing those two middle toes together so those knuckles are rubbing against each other. We want to keep this as mild as possible. Some dogs are going to fight this initially really hard. Darcy, we had 2 or 3 different times where she fought it pretty hard, but it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So what we're gonna do, since she'll understand hold, but she's not reaching for it yet, we're gonna ask her to reach for this a little bit. So we're gonna hold this bumper in front, or this dowel in front of her face, and then we're gonna apply some pressure with the toe pinch, and we're gonna ask her to hold. Hold. You see how she reluctantly opened up her mouth there? That's our job at that point in time to help her finish that step. She already knew that the dowel needed to go inside. She didn't like the pressure. So as soon as she opened up, we put that dowel in her mouth and we release the pressure. It's important that as soon as that dowel goes in her mouth and she bites down on that pressure comes off. The timing is extremely crucial, so she fully understands that the pressure is only because she's not holding the dowel. Okay, so you'll do that until the dog feels comfortable doing that. Right in front of their face, apply pressure, hold. As soon as she holds that, you're going to take the pressure off. Hi, yes, you like it, don't you? Yes. Good. So again, nice, easy pets, very calm. We're not trying to rush through this. When you're using a force fetch, it's a very, very slow process to get the job done correctly and minimize the stress on the dogs. Okay. Pressure on, hold, pressure off. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot of pressure. Initially, like I said, we had a couple times starting off that she wasn't aware of what was going to happen, what the pressure meant. Now that she fully understands that the pressure of the toe pinch means that she has to hold that dowel, okay, then we're able to apply less pressure, just enough for her to understand that we're still asking her to hold. You see she reached for it there. She was back a little bit, she came forward. That's all we're looking for. Again, as soon as that mouth opens up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that dowel inside. We're just going to help her along the way. She's looking around, she's holding, her tail's going crazy. She's extremely, extremely calm. And there's no stress here right now. Okay. Hold. Good. Good. Yes. Good. Hi. So that right there is going to be your first major hurdle. As soon as you get that dog holding that, reaching for it on their own, as long as they're holding it tight, if you need to keep applying a little bit of pressure on the scruff of their neck, lift their mandible up, during the initial stages, that's perfectly fine. We will kind of help her along the way as far as her understanding that no matter what, she needs to have a firm grip, but not a tight grip. We'll fix that stuff later. We'll work on that later. But right now, we want to keep it nice, easy, calm, and that's how we're going to start our first 2 steps there. Every dog's different. There's no time frame on how long this is going to take. Some dogs this is going to take a week. Some dogs this is going to take a day. So it just depends on what's going on. What's very important is that you end on a good note. You always need to end a training session successfully. Darcy's done that. She's done a very good job. We're not going to get trainer's greed, which a lot of people have. We've been in that case where like, oh, the dog's doing great. We can get a little bit more. You try for that next step and you fail miserably. That ends up working backwards on you. So if you get somewhere that is a lot of progression, go ahead and stop. Finish the session. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be done for the day, but that was a successful session, so we're going to stop there. We'll come back later. We'll probably do a little bit later tonight, do another session of this, make sure she's fully comfortable reaching for the dowel. We want to get to the point where we no longer have to insert the dowel in her mouth, that she willingly does it on her own. So we're going to go ahead and in there. Again, my name is Blake Wolf with Ringneck Kennels. This here is Darcy, and this is the initial steps of the force fetch training.
It was a Friday night out on the farm. The pasture party was going on, and I was gonna be the star of the show.